This is the piece amateur players aren't reading right now. They're reading, it's open. Pro players are reading, it's open. I want you to open this up. You want me here and or here at the same time and not understanding, and just keep bouncing me across here. So I don't want you to attack on this one. I just want you to keep me off balance on here, 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 here. Yep. Yeah, good, good, good. Those are good because I can see there's a pause. You're getting to the ball, there's a pause, there's a read, and then there's a spot. And I want you recycling that over and over. If you have time to get there and pause. Sometimes you don't, but if you do, you're getting there, you're pausing. You're not looking dead at me, right? Peripheral, you're reading, and then you're going. You pause, you read, and then you go. I'm always going to be favoring one spot or the other. The reason is, the further the ball is cross court, so past your left foot, I have no choice but to start covering multiple options. Basically, you just divide the court into three. As soon as the ball hits to where your left foot is, my partner has to cover this. They have no choice, rarely any choice, but to cover down the line, right? If they don't cover down the line, you're just gonna fire down the line, okay? So they have here, right here. As soon as that happens, I have to cover this middle third spot right here. So I have to fill this gap because I got to be prepared for, well, if he goes middle, I better have a forehand here. If he dinks middle, I need to be here. Which spot am I typically giving up? This last third spot, okay? Which is right here. What you're doing is you're forcing me to play two of those thirds. My partner doesn't have to worry about anything but this one third up here, right? Say it again. They're only worrying about this one third of the court right here when the ball's at you, right? Because if you attack, I got to be ready. I can't leave. I have to worry about what if you speed up middle in this third, because it's my responsibility. And what if you go to this particular third, right? Because this is outside. What I should be doing, the best players have to do this, is I should be prepared to cover this spot. And I also should be watching this spot, but not as concerned, right? Because I can't cover two. So with you knowing that knowledge, what you're doing, this is to anybody you ever play on the court, what you're doing is you're forcing me to make decisions between this third of the court and this third of the court over and over and over until I cheat or commit to one of them and you play off the next one. That's literally what you're doing. You're keeping the ball in play by putting pressure in these two thirds to understand what am I willing to give up. Think about it as a block. I'm either here, I'm here. And if I'm standing here in both of the zones, all you're doing is probing each one to figure out, well, which one can I cover and which one can I not? That's it. That's the power of the two-hand backhand roll, which people aren't talking about as much. With the slice, you don't get that as much because if I'm here, you can't slice with enough pace to necessarily beat me because the ball's going to either hit the net or the ball's going to go out because it's going to carry. With the topspin roll, you can prey on that little small amount of timing that it takes me to get here because you can actually roll the ball there and it's in. That's why I said the box here or here, because these are the extremes of those zones. If I'm covering this box is likely open. And if this box is not open, what it means is I've covered this box and I've recovered to this box, which now means what? That box back. You see what I'm saying? It's this mind game of what do you see on the court, and you can remove the person. And I want you to start thinking about the actual spots that it doesn't matter who's there. Those spots are always going to be available depending on the position of the person there. Okay. All right. Let's get a long one. Here we go. Good, good. You see that pressure right there, right? What happens is I attempt to cheat somewhat. And you think about cheating as me actually moving there, right? I want you to understand cheating as my momentum, right? If I'm doing this, where am I cheating to? The left side, right? If I'm doing this, I'm cheating to here. This is the piece amateur players aren't reading right now. They're reading, it's open. Pro players are reading, it's open. You see what I'm saying? And that's what that last ball, because you held, I'm here, but there is a slight shift here. And because there's a slight shift and you have a really good ball that gets some depth to my feet, what happens to this reset? Oh, a little shaky.